Now at 9, we have an exclusive interview with the Libertarian gubernatorial candidate. Find out what his policies are.
And the new organization opens up to provide assistance to the homeless. Find out more about how you can get involved. And Rocky Horror makes its return to Emmons Auditorium. NewsLink Indiana is live to bring you the latest on the late night tradition.
And you won't need your sweaters this evening. See where Halloween is heating up across the nation.
And I am tracking a dip in temperatures tonight. This is NewsLink Indiana.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and happy Halloween. Thanks for being with us. I'm Demar Robinson.
And I'm Eli Grasham. Ball State's annual Rocky Horror Picture Show is putting on the final touches before its midnight showing. NewsLink Indiana's Mira Bloomer joins us live outside of Emmons Auditorium to let us know what makes Ball State's showing so special.
Outside of Emmons Auditorium right now, where the shadowcast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show is opening for their 14th annual Halloween night screening. What is a shadowcast, you may say? So a shadowcast is basically a group of actors that will perform while the film in the background will be playing, essentially bringing all these iconic characters to life. So the pre-show does kick off at 11, but the doors will open at 10:30, so make sure you grab a spot in line just like these people. Ball State students do get in for free, and just make sure you have that Ball State ID. And if you don't worry, you can get a ticket at the door for $3. So the showing does start right at midnight, and if you are looking for a show mixed with comedy, music, and audience participation, do not forget to join in on this tradition and wear your costumes for an unforgettable night. Happy Halloween, Ball State. At Emmons, Mira Bloomer, NewsLink Indiana.
Thank you, Mira.
For more information on the show tonight, visit the Ball State Rocky Horror Shadowcast Facebook page.
NewsLink Indiana and the Daily News had a sit-down interview with Libertarian gubernatorial candidate Donald Rainwater. This is the final part of our two-part coverage of Indiana's gubernatorial candidates.
For those who maybe aren't, can you kind of explain a little bit on to what the Libertarian Party is?
Absolutely. The Libertarian Party is really a party focused on individual rights and minimal government. The idea is what's written down is really the only thing that the government is supposed to do, and that anything that's not expressly in writing is then left up to individual people.
So, you touched on a couple of things, but when it comes to your plans or your policies, what, or maybe like the 3 top things that you are looking at if you were in the position of governor?
One of the phrases that I'm using is I want to help make Indiana less taxing for all of us. The second thing is education. An educational program should be tailored to the individual. And I believe the best people to do that are the young person and their parents, not a group of legislators or a group of bureaucrats. So I believe that we've got to completely rethink education in Indiana.
The one that comes up is the idea of like reproductive rights, but just in general, like privacy and their own decision and bodily autonomy. Do you have any stance or policy idea or plan in regards to that?
The basic libertarian philosophy is called the non-aggression principle. And it's the idea that you can do whatever you want to do as long as it doesn't infringe on someone else and on their rights. If we have legal tobacco, legal alcohol, why don't we have legal cannabis? But if a doctor can prescribe a highly addictive, narcotic pain medicine, they should be able to prescribe cannabis. That's a personal decision people should be able to make.
I don't have any other questions, so thank you for your
No,
time.
thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
This is the final part of our two-part series, as Republican gubernatorial candidate Mike Braun declined to speak with our teams.
Days after 2 attacks on ballot boxes in Oregon and Washington, security for those boxes is doubled. That's according to Tim Scott with the Multnomah County Elections Office on Monday. On Monday, a suspect caused hundreds of ballots to burn in Washington and set up a device at another ballot box in Oregon the same morning. Scott says their security teams have increased their patrols along with police surveillances since the attacks on Monday. Scott says even though the attacker has not been caught, voters are still using the boxes just as much as other methods ahead of Election Day.
Yesterday we got almost 30,000 ballots back in the mail. So we're starting to see that turnout increase. It's really important to me that people know that we have a plan, and it's a good plan, and we're going to keep moving this election forward as we're required to do by law.
Law enforcement officials say both devices used to damage the ballots were marked with the message "Free Gaza." They say that authorities still are unsure if the attacker was actually motivated by pro-Palestinian views. Well, we hope everyone stays safe with election voting, of course. We want to make sure everyone stays safe. Along with that, it is Halloween. Halloween is wrapping up, certainly. Trick-or-treating is wrapping up in Delaware County.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's important to know about the weather, and that's why we are going to send it now to Hunter.
Yeah, no, we are seeing actually a drop in temperatures right now. As you can see on the radar, it's 63 in Muncie, 57 in Indianapolis, and you can kind of see where that front is at, and that will progress through tonight. But I'll give you a little bit of Halloween facts for our weather people out here. Our warmest Halloween was 78 degrees and 71. The coldest was in 1993 of 35 degrees. Thankfully, no snow tonight, just some sprinkles of rain showers throughout the evening here, but nothing close to the 2 inches mark. So I am tracking some wet conditions on the way, cool nights, and a mild weekend ahead in my full forecasts.
With inflation increasing what used to be affordable prices, there are communities and families who go without basic essentials every day. NewsLink Indiana's Kamara Munn finds out how a New Muncie service group addresses the community's needs.
A new community service organization is determined to provide needs for Muncie families, homeless, and single mothers. ARC Muncie is a nonprofit established in September of this year, distributing items such as water jugs, heaters, and hygienic products for free. After serving in the military and reconnecting with his faith, founder Jacob Kuhl recognized the disparities within his community and wanted to help.
I turned out of the Walmart parking lot, and I met a gentleman there that was homeless. Didn't find out until after I took him to Walmart, took him back to his house. When I realized that, it made me think there needs to be an organization that meets gaps in Muncie.
Another founder of ARC Muncie, David Herbert, had already began giving back to his community prior to joining the group. Herbert says he resonates with the people he helps, and this drives him to keep giving back.
And going from scarcity and survival to doing well, and then now I'm in a point of, wait, I have something to give.
In addition to providing necessities, Herbert provides shelter for homeless people in need of a place to stay for colder temperatures.
It's nice and strong. And you can even hook things from the top like lights and phones and battery chargers, whatever you need. And then it's nice and insulated and then waterproof.
ARC Muncie accepts new members and donations at pay.arcmuncie.com. In Muncie, Kamara Munn, NewsLink, Indiana.
ARC Muncie encourages people to join their group and is reachable on Facebook.
Coming up, Halloween night is in full swing. Learn how parents are keeping their little ones safe on this spooky night.
And the McDonald's saga continues. Hear what the CDC has to say about the E. coli outbreak.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew a girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Welcome back. It's a big night for all the ghosts and goblins out there.
But trick-or-treating can be difficult for those who have allergies. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how to safely have fun when dealing with allergies this Halloween.
It's time for carved pumpkins, costumes, and of course, candy. But if your child has allergies, Halloween can be scary for other reasons.
It's very, very important to plan ahead.
Dr. Jessica Huey with National Jewish Health says to avoid a reaction in trick-or-treaters who have food allergies, parents should consider packing an allergy-friendly treat just in case the child can't eat the ones they receive. And read the labels, but beware, some smaller candy packaging may not have ingredients printed, and consider a non-candy alternative.
Many parents are calling it the switch witch or the good witch, who comes and leaves a gift in exchange for the child's candy. So it's this nice trade system that can happen after trick-or-treating.
Huey says some children can have an allergic reaction to their costume, whether it's latex in a mask, irritating fabrics, or something else they wear.
Makeup can be very irritating, and especially if it's on several surfaces of the body, you might want to just test it a little bit to see how you tolerate it before you go on to use it and apply it.
Finally, Huey says asthma sufferers should beware of triggers, especially in haunted houses and corn mazes.
We think about fog machines with those smoke irritants, even weeds and outdoor molds. All of those can be triggers. And so, if your child needs to pre-treat with their inhaler prior to going, that's a great time to do that.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The allergist says that parents should also remember to bring their child's rescue medications at all times. She says that includes bringing an EpiPen if necessary.
Onions used on McDonald's Quarter Pounder hamburgers appear to be the source of a recent E. coli outbreak. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Last week, supplier Taylor Farms issued a recall on some of its onions products because of a potential contamination. This E. coli outbreak is tied to one death and dozens of others getting sick in more than dozens of states. The CDC calls the current risk to overall public very low. The agency says it's unlikely recalled onions were distributed in grocery stores.
Well, happy Halloween. I am currently tracking some cooler temperatures tonight. I'll have more coming up.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
When tornadoes touched down in parts of our viewing area, NewsLink Indiana kept you informed days in advance.
You do need to be seeking shelter.
Marginal risk of severe weather.
And days after.
The roof has been ripped completely off of this house,
giving you a first-hand look at the communities affected.
When your neighbors lose their house and you don't, how lucky you are.
The first to alert you of severe weather before it happens. NewsLink Indiana Weather.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember you threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know what? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back. Halloween might be when the kids care most about the weather. Some children are in for weather so unusual tonight, it's almost spooky. Forecasters say this could end up being one of the warmest Halloweens ever for parts of the Great Lakes, Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic. They say several cities could set new record highs. The nice weather in Iowa is why kids there get to trick-or-treat on Halloween tonight. For the first time since 1938, the metro area usually hosts its trick-or-treating on October 30th, but because of the war and temps, this year's Halloween trick-or-treating is tonight.
Yeah, no, we actually reached a high of 70 today, so a little bit more above average than this time of the of past Halloweens actually. But right now in our area, it's 61 degrees and 57 in Indianapolis. But in those hometown areas, majority is dipping down into the upper 50s, and that'll be persistent tonight as we do get a little bit colder as this front is pushing through the state right now. But like I mentioned, you can see that front actually on the 24-hour temp change actually, because we are 8 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. So again, we're getting back into those more fall-like temperatures as November is approaching. With that regional radar, you could see we have a little bit of showers in our area, but it will dissipate soon as the night progresses, bringing mostly cloudy conditions for our area. Along with that is that wind. The wind will start to die down as this front's exiting the state. Currently it's 20-mile wind gusts west-northwest in our area. So again, if you are still trick-or-treating or heading home, make sure to secure any of your Halloween decorations because they might blow away with those gusty conditions. But as we step out the door, like I mentioned, we'll have a forecast tonight of some rain showers in store with a low of 40 degrees. Thankfully, no snow in this forecast. For like past Halloweens, we've had rain and snow. So again, take advantage of those outdoor activities and enjoy this Halloween night ahead. But for tomorrow, we'll start to actually warm up into the 50s here, 56 for your Friday. A little bit more mild than actually today, with winds north at 5 miles per hour. So you're going to feel those calm winds. So enjoy maybe going to a pumpkin patch tomorrow to swing off into the November month ahead. With that being said, though, like nothing but clouds for Friday as you're heading into work, but we'll start to exit with bringing mostly sunny conditions as you're heading home from work. But that will change because, like I mentioned, with those drier conditions, we're having a drought in our area, a severe drought for the Delaware County area. So with having those pleasant conditions, we're unfortunately having all that dry soil, which is not good for us, especially for those farmers. But we are hopefully going to have some rain Sunday at 3 p.m. Into Tuesday, actually, bringing some precipitation, which could help with that drought monitor, lowering down eventually. Like I mentioned, for Tuesday as well, we'll have another front of rain for your election day, so we will keep you updated in case there is some rain conditions affecting your election night ahead. But for the next 7 days, nothing but mild conditions with having some active weather patterns Sunday into Tuesday. But I would like to mention those morning lows into the 30s, swinging more back into those fall-like temperatures, bringing it to the 50s next week ahead.
With Halloween kind of being the fall kind of celebration, doesn't really feel too cold.
Yeah, no, I feel like I have multiple layers on the morning and start shedding them off as the day goes ahead.
Yeah, today was, I wanted to wear a costume today, but I couldn't do that.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets tough. All right, there's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Jake Dickman has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Eli and Demar. A World Series champion has been crowned, and the celebrations were a bit unruly. Plus, 2 Ball State squads learned their schedules for the seasons ahead. All this and more, next in sports.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed. But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality.
Oh,
look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh.
My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jake Dickman with sports. After a long and grueling season, the Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions. Facing off against the New York Yankees in one of the most anticipated matchups of the entire season, the Dodgers would jump out to a quick 3-0 series lead. The Yankees would take the series to a Game 5 and actually led 5-0 in the 4th inning of Game 5. Los Angeles would then storm back to win Game 5 7-6 and thus claim the title in this contest of East Coast versus West Coast. Freddie Freeman would be named World Series MVP after hitting 4 home runs and tallying 12 RBIs. This title is number 8 for the Dodgers and their second in 5 years, following their triumph in 2020's shortened season. The Dodgers celebration wouldn't be all joy, however. Celebrations Wednesday night were marred by reports of looting, at least one fire, and the discovery of explosive devices. After the Dodgers clinched the title, tens of thousands of fans flooded Echo Park near Dodger Stadium. Police ordered the crowd to disperse just before 10 p.m., but shortly before midnight, a hostile crowd set fire to a Metro bus and smashed windows of a Nike store. The LA County Sheriff also says law enforcement found explosive devices.
2 of the arrests that we made last night in the East Los Angeles incident that we had, there were 2 individuals that were arrested for possession of explosive devices.
Why Tactical Alert Wednesday night was eventually canceled. However, on Thursday morning, officers were still patrolling Echo Park. To keep things on the diamond, Ball State Baseball announced their 2025 schedule today. The Cardinals will open play on Valentine's Day at the Swig and Swine Classic at Shipyard Park in Charleston, South Carolina. MAC play begins on a revenge note for Ball State, taking on Western Michigan at home in a rematch of the 2024 MAC Championship on March 7th. Other notable matchups for Ball State include home and homes against in-state rivals Purdue and Butler, 2 games against Indiana University, one of which will be played at Victory Field in Indianapolis, and trips to Sacramento State, North Florida, and Florida A&M. To keep it in the nest, men's basketball had their matchups for the Gulf Coast Showcase announced alongside the rest of their schedule. Ball State will start their season at Georgia State for a MAC Sunbelt Challenge match on November 4th before hosting Franklin College in Worthen for their home opener on the 8th. The Cards will play 3 more times before flying to Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida on the 25th for the Gulf Coast Showcase to play Eastern Kentucky Florida Tech, and Richmond right before Thanksgiving break. Now, professional baseball's ending. College baseball doesn't start for a few more months. Let's talk about some basketball. 4 days away from the Ball State season.
This is close. I know football season's almost wrapping up now. Going from the gridiron to the hardwood court, and I am so pumped and geeked to get inside Worthing to watch a game.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely love some college basketball.
Thank you, Jake.
Of course.
Coming up, your campus coverage is keeping the Halloween spirit alive. See how Ball State students celebrated the holiday.
And we'll have one last look at weather.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Stephanie Weaver, and this is your Halloween campus coverage. On Tuesday, Cardinal Cosplay hosted their annual Halloween Bash. I'm here to give you the details.
The event was filled with snacks and fun activities such as karaoke.
This is the best turnout we've had by a long shot. When I was here as an academy student for my high school, we had maybe about 2 people in the actual club, probably about 10, 15 people showing up to this event. And last year there was 20. This year there was close to 50 or 60. So we're really happy.
Each attendee expressed themselves in a unique way through their costume. Some kept it simple, while others went all out. Throughout the night, there were many compliments and photographs as attendees expressed interest in each other's costumes.
So many people don't get a chance to express themselves in the ways they want because of the fear of being judged, and we really like to provide a safe space for people to do this, where they get to talk with people that are like them and like to express themselves in this way, and it's great to see people have that opportunity that they may not normally have.
The night ended with the costume contest, where each participant got to show off their costume and have a personalized moment to shine. It was a night for everyone to express themselves in a fun way.
If you want more information about events like this one, check out Cardinal Cosplay on Instagram. Their next event is the Yule Ball in January. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of cool events around here. Like back home, there's the Black Forest and Haunted Castle that I went to this year, and there's a whole lot here around Muncie too.
Yeah, I know Halloween is just wrapping up in Delaware County, and I'm ready for St. Nick. I'm ready for Mariah Carey to start singing and those jingle bells to start ringing.
Well, if you are feeling the Christmas spirit, we got to know about the Christmas weather with Hunter.
Well, thankfully, we're not to the Christmas weather quite yet with that snow. But right now, we are tracking some rain chances coming on Monday and Tuesday for your Election Day forecast. But I would like to mention those cool morning lows in the 30s. Definitely need to bring that extra layer if you are, of course, traveling to work or school. But we'll actually start to have some drier conditions on Wednesday and Thursdays in the 50s. So I'm really interested in when we'll have that snow, but again, not quite yet going to happen.
Thank you, Hunter. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for our sister show, Waking Up with Cardinal Weather.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Happy Halloween, have a great night, and stay safe.